Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest. It is currently 4:17 p.m. on Friday, the 23rd of June. I am now on my lunch break at work, working from home today, just so I could do this video, sort of like a weekly roundup. See what I've missed during the week. There have been a few interesting announcements that I haven't touched upon, and we've also seen a few big down days on the Australian market. In fact, this is not at the end of trading because TradingView is a little bit behind, but the XGO is down about 1.3%. In fact, we can actually have a look to see how much down it is because the closing auction has been completed, down 1.34%. So not far off the XGO at about 4 p.m. Now, two big down days in a row after 7 good up days in a row. And because of these two big down days, the market is back to where it was at the start of those 7 good up days in a row. So 3 down days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 2 big down days, really following the lead in America. And I think the reason the American markets were a little bit negative over the last few days is because Jed Powell mentioned that there's future hike rates likely. And the market didn't want to hear that at all. But again, as I mentioned in a previous video that I did last week, there's actually, even though you hear about this correlation between the markets and interest rates, we have seen, particularly when we do go in recession, that interest rates and the stock market can be positively correlated. They can go down together. So the market doesn't think that right now. And the market is overly sensitive when it comes to interest rates and possible maintaining rising interest rates in the future as well. So let's have a look at what happened and over the week and some interesting announcements. The first one is on a company I've already done a video on, and that was Lake Resources. I did a video after Monday. Share price was down 20% that day. Share price was down another 20% the next day on the Tuesday, and has had 2 further negative days. And the low or the close of trading today is at 29.5 cents. Not quite the low. So the low during the week was on the Tuesday. Share price got down 27.5 cents. So let's just have a look at the chart for Lake Resources. If you don't know why the market has punished Lake Resources, you can have a look at my video or just take a look at the announcements they released on the Monday. Had to do with an operational update of their mine. And this point doesn't look like the mine's going to be into production until 2027 and full production until 2030, and pretty significant cost blowout as well, upwards of $1 billion to get this mine up and running. And that's why the share price is down, and in a well-defined down trend. So I'm not even thinking about touching Lake Resources right now. Another company that actually had a nice announcement was Pointsbet. I think this announcement was released last Friday. So let's have a look at last Friday. It had to do with the sale of the US business by DraftKings, if I remember correctly. DraftKings, which is a pretty big competitor for Pointsbet. But the market did like it. Market liked it. Share price went up on the Monday because that announcement on Friday was released after closing, if I remember correct. It was released at 5:30 p.m. last Friday. So the market did a pretty good, well, the market liked it anyway. And not only did the market like it, share price rose 21.6% on the day. I don't really follow Pointsbet all that closely because share price has been dropping a fair while. But the last 4 days after the Monday, share price has gone sideways. You can just see that in the candlesticks here, just gone sideways. So this is referred to as sort of a pennant. And that's actually a good sign. That means there's not a lot of selling. And in fact, you probably could argue the selling is being outweighed by, not outweighed, but is equal to the buying. And that's a good sign. Now, I'd be even more interested in this company. I'm not saying I'm interested. If we didn't have this massive run up in the share price back in April or May, and then the massive drop in the share price, if we didn't have this, I'd probably be a little bit keener than I am right now. But a good 4 trading days for Pointsbet. And maybe this is the end of the long-term downtrend. You can see on occasion, this company has nice little runs. So back in July of last year, the share price went from about just below $2 all the way back up to $4. So we had a 100% increase in share price in about 2-month period, even though the share price was in a well-defined downtrend. So on occasion, even though share prices can be in well-defined downtrends, you can still see these dead cat bounces or these short-lived bull runs, if you want to call it that. But possibly the low has been reached for Pointsbet. Not a company I'm particularly following right now all that closely, but maybe they can change my mind if they do release some good announcements. Another company, and I'm thinking maybe I should just go past this one, but no, I won't. I'll talk about DUB. DUB did release an okay announcement, a financial year 23 update and financial year 24 outlook. So whenever I see the words update or outlook, I will pay attention to those particular announcements. And the main thing about this one that I pulled out, and the market actually did like this, net operating cash outflows for financial year 24 to be $20 million or less. This company just burns through cash like it's falling off trees, but they have had to rein in their spending because the market doesn't want these sort of companies anymore. And they're going to have a closing cash balance in the range of $8 to $10 million at the end of financial year 24. And they're on track to achieve cash flow break even during financial year 25. So market sort of did like that a little bit. Share price did increase a fair bit on the day. And when I say fair bit, I'm talking about 22.6%. And the share price has gone sideways. But the downtrend in DUB share price is still there. It has not broken the downtrend. There's no end in sight to the share price of this company falling. And again, because even though they are on a path to profitability, it's still a fair way away. So the market cap of this company has fallen a fair bit. Its share price got as high as $4.25 back in September of 2021. So this is the very definition of a company that was favorable, was cult stock almost, because their growth in their revenue was spectacular, but they were burning through cash. Back in 2021, investors didn't care that they were burning through mountains of cash. Their growth in revenue was spectacular. Things change, and you gotta be wary, not wary, but you have to realize when things change, when the market wants something else, you have to adjust what you're doing. And that's definitely true for management. They have to adjust what they're doing. There were a few companies that started to adjust in late 2020, 2021, going from growth in revenue at any cost, and they went back to wanting profit and cash flow. And those companies have held up really well. Probably the best example of that is Dropsuite or Dropsuite. Now, I'm going to go past Austel. I was going to look at that. Another company, and CI1, Credit Intelligence, they had probably my least liked announcement, profit warning. So I don't like, and when I say don't like, I'm talking about more than likely when you see the wording, the title of these announcements, you're going to see the share price drop. Profit warning, profit downgrade are the two worst type of announcements you can see. So Credit Intelligence doesn't have a very large market cap, but profit warning. And what do you think happened to the share price that day? It was down 14.8%, down 8.8% the next day, up 19% on the Thursday, and then down another, no, Tuesday. Right there, I'm going to get this right. Down 14.8% on the Monday, down 8.7% on the Tuesday, up 19% on the Wednesday, down 12% on the Thursday, up 4.6% on the Friday. So a lot of volatility in Credit Intelligence share price. Not the sort of company I'm all that interested in right now. And you just see the share price has been quite volatile over the past year or so. So this goes back to the low the share price was in June last year when it got down to about 9.3 cents. It rose all the way back up to about 24 cents in a fairly short period of time, and is now going back down. Don't know much about this company. Probably has something to do with credit. Who knows? Market cap $9.2 million. Does have revenue. So revenue 15.7 million, and that has been growing okay over the last few years. But have a look at that profit warning. Let's have a look at it. I actually didn't pay close attention to it, so let's have a look. My lunch break is an hour, but I don't want to take an hour doing this video. So anyway, let's have a look. The group's unaudited consolidated loss attributable to members of the parent entity was 1.5 million, including impairment, blah, blah, as compared to a net profit of 2.3 million in the corresponding period. So they're going from profit to a loss. But the share price has been quite volatile. Anyway, next company is a company that did the complete opposite to Credit Intelligence. I'm pretty sure Coventry Group, ticker CYJ, did a trading update. And I'm pretty sure this was a positive trading update, if I remember correctly. They are pleased to provide the guidance. This is a guidance. It's like forecast sales around 355 million, up 10.2%. Forecast EBITDA, blah, 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 of 17 million, up 9.7%. So it's not a profit down upgrade. It's just their guidance for the financial year. And the market, I think, did like it. Up 11. Which day did they release this on? Let's have a look. Released it on the 20th. And the share price went up 7.8% that day, 11.3% the next day, and down 2.8%. So chart should look better for Coventry Group. The share price of this company was in a downtrend. You can see that downtrend got as high as $1.82 in the middle or start of 2022 and has fallen a fair bit. Then even though we have seen some pretty good volume in the last 3 trading days, so nice volume, but this is not the end of the downtrend just based off what's happening here. So share price still going down. I would have liked to see the share price break out, particularly out of a consolidation period, but that's not what's happening with Coventry Group, even though we've seen really good volume. In fact, not only that, really good volume or increase in volume over the past 9 months. You can see fairly low volume for the first half of 2022, and that volume has increased. That's a good sign that there is someone in the market getting interested with this company. More than likely, that's going to be fund managers who can buy more shares, that sort of thing. Now, I wasn't going to bring you best and less because they're under a takeover offer, bid, whatever you want to call it. But they did release, if I can find, a trading update on the 20th, which was the Tuesday. Now, this is not relevant for best and less because you won't see a share price increase or decreasing because they're under a takeover bid. But it's just what they're saying is interesting. And it's just the second paragraph here. Since the company's most recent trading update on the 17th of May, so not long ago, it's only 1 month prior to this particular announcement, trading conditions have continued to soften with sales and foot traffic lagging the prior period. Total sales were down 11.7% or $9 million from the previous or prior corresponding period. Like-for-like sales down 13.2%. So this is sort of confirming that we are seeing a pretty significant softening in the retail sector. We've seen quite a few retail companies come out with profit downgrades or fairly negative trading updates. So that's the only reason I want to show, and just to show you that they released this announcement on the 20th, and the share price did nothing on that day. Down 0.26%. Share price doing nothing next 2 days, and you'll see the chart of this company. It's just going sideways, absolutely sideways. This is the very definition of a company under a takeover bid. You can see the share price just going sideways. Very little change in share price from day to day. You see this all the time. You notice there was no premium to this takeover bid, which is weird. Strange. What's another company that's under a takeover bid right now? Like Tesseract. You can see here, this was to a premium and the share price has been just hovering between 12 and 12.5 cents. So without even knowing companies are under a takeover bid, you can actually have a look at the chart. I'm trying to think of a company that's been under a takeover bid for a while. Blackmore's, I'm pretty sure, has been. Yeah, look, this is, yeah. If you see this sort of pattern without even knowing a company is going under a takeover bid, this should be a telltale sign. Just look how the share price just going sideways. A little bit of volatility in the first few days, but you know, compare that to the rest of the period. Yeah. Anyway, the only reason I want to show you best and less was because, yeah, they gave a good, confirmation of what's happening in retail. Bell Financial Group, sort of a positive announcement. I provided an updated earnings guidance, and this was a positive one. So they said here that they're pleased to say after a stronger second quarter, the earnings are going to be better than they were compared to the previous corresponding period. Unfortunately for Bell Financial Group, share price has been under pressure recently. We did see a nice little bounce on the day. Share price did increase almost 10%, but you can just see the share price in a downtrend, and it just took the share price back to what it was a few weeks ago. And they're still going to be still in a downtrend. So even if this was positive, you want to see these positive trading updates when the share price is breaking out to a 6-month high, a year high, not to a 2-week high, because of the pressure, the resistance of all those who have bought in the past 6 months who now want to sell out because the share price has fallen. Investors are humans, and humans are a weird bunch, and psychology plays a massive role when the share price, if the share price goes up or down, even on good or bad news. Typically on bad news, the share price will go down because fear is greater than greed. But when a company releases a good result, a good announcement, doesn't mean or necessarily mean the shift. There's going to be a shift in sentiment and a shift in trend in the share price. You have to look at see where the share price has been in the previous 6 months. So Bell Financial is a really good example of that. Bubs had a good announcement based off the market reaction. So BUB, USA update, sounded pretty good, I suppose. Talking about numbers, how much the numbers are growing in the United States. Financial year 23 USA net revenue expected to be at the upper end of the previous forecast range of between 20 and 22 million versus 8.1 million financial year 22. The most important thing is the chart and how the market reacted to it. And the market, I think the share price went up 30% or something. 31%, down a little bit the next day, up a little bit today, good volume coming in. But you can see the share price has dropped a lot over the past 9 months. Back in August last year, even if you go back to June last year, the share price got as high as 80 cents almost. Yeah, 80 cents. And it's fallen all the way back down to less than 20 cents. So market hasn't been that interested in this company, a little bit more wary. Possibly this could be the start of a little bit of a turnaround in Bubs. But just look what happened back in January this year. There was a very similar trading pattern in January, up big, 13.6% down, up big, and the share price just plummeted after that. And there was good volume there as well. And that's the power of the downtrend. And I believe downtrends are much more powerful because, again, fear is a much more powerful emotion than greed. I'm not sure if that's true for all humanity. It's definitely true for investors. So when you see a downtrend like this, it needs to take a lot for the company share price to get out of that downtrend. A lot. It needs to take a lot. One I just wanted to look at was Cleanaway. Someone did mention Cleanaway starting to look good. It was trying to move into an uptrend, but again, you can just see it wasn't long ago where the share price was this high. And then something happened on the Wednesday. Share price dropped 3.6. Doesn't seem a lot, but 3.6 that day, 4.8% the next day, another 1.2% today. And all they did was some sort of, I don't know what it was called, strategy day presentation. So there must have been something in that the market didn't quite like, and this potential uptrend share price has now come to an end. TPG had some bad news, probably along with Telstra, because the Australian Competition Tribunal determination thingy, they said TPG can't use Telstra's towers or something like that. Optus complained about it, saying this is going to decrease competition. And I could see why Optus didn't want this, because that would mean there's more competitors in the space. And now this probably means there's going to be less competitors. So I'll just believe whatever this Australian Competition Tribunal says. What do they decide upon? I have no qualms with it. They're the experts. I am not. But it just seems to me this decision will lead to less competition. That's what Optus wants. And yeah, the share price recovered on that day. It was only down 5.4%, but it was down a bit further during the day. And the share price of TPG was trying to get an uptrend. It was trying to get higher. When the share price did reach a high on the 11th of May, that was a 6-month high, almost a 9-month high. So did look like the share price was trying to turn around. Again, this decision has put a bit of a spanner in the works. for TPG. Flight Centre was another company that didn't release any announcement as per se. It was another strategy session, just like Cleanaway, but the market didn't like this one either. So it looks like companies doing these strategy days maybe not do them anymore because the share price just tanked. Share price, beautiful uptrend for Flight Centre, and then 3 big down days in a row. Share price falling from $21.50 down to $18.81. And I think this is the end of the downtrend, unless we see a little bit of support right now. But yeah, that looks pretty ugly. 3 big down days in a row for Flight Centre. I did not have a look at this training, or what was it called? I was going to say trading session, strategy session. And just like I did not have a look at Cleanaway's, but just based off the market's reaction, they didn't like something within this presentation or this session. So that's announcements that were released on the 21st, which was the Wednesday. Now let's take it to a few interesting announcements on the Thursday. First one was Eroad. The only reason this was interesting, another takeover bid, and this was to a premium, unlike Best and Less. And the reason I wanted to show you this is leading up to this takeover bid, you can just see the share price on a rally and some nice volume coming in as well. And this just doesn't sit well with me. Obviously, someone knew this was happening, and the share price went from 50 cents to 75 cents. So a nice little 50% rally. And I just think someone knew. Although you could have said this back in July last year, a nice little rally in the share price. But anyway, I was paying a little bit more attention to Eroad because of this rally. It did look like the short-term sentiment in the company was trying to change, shift from negative to positive, and maybe this was the reason this takeover bid. Next one was AHI. I've mentioned this company previously because the share price went up 370% on the 13th of June, then down 50%, down 25%, up 38.9% on the Thursday, down 8% today. And it was a trading update. That's all it was. Now, this company also has a secondary listing, or maybe the main listing on the NASDAQ. Massive volatile ride for shareholders. Look at that. And let's have a look at what's happening on the NASDAQ. Maybe the NASDAQ is leading this. And this is just insane volatility. Day traders love this. Day traders love volatility. So more than likely day traders all in on AHI. I did not have a look at the trading update. Did not have a look because, yeah. Not sure if I should mention Duratec. They did have an update. Yeah, share price is a beautiful uptrend, but share price, the market didn't react. Or, it was a muted reaction. Share price still had a beautiful uptrend for Duratec. What did interest me was John's Lyng Group. Now, this was a profit upgrade. So John Lyng's Group Limited provides earnings upgrade for financial year 23. So this was a very definition of an upgrade in terms of, I think it was revenue and EBITDA. Now, there was one segment in the company that was down a little bit, but that's okay. The rest of the company is growing strongly. But the share price was down 11.9%. But what was interesting about John Lyng's Group, apart from the negative reaction from the market, even though this was an upgrade, you tend to not see this all too often, very rarely, was how the market reacted on the day. So let's have a look at the 1-minute data for John's Lyng Group. You can just see where the announcement was released. It wasn't released before trading. It was released during trading, and it was released about 1 p.m. And upon release, because when a company goes into trading halt or releases a price-sensitive announcement during the day, the shares in the company automatically are stopped for 10 to 15 minutes. I forget exactly how long. And then they come out of trading. And when John's Lyng Group came out of trading, because this was a profit upgrade, share price immediately opened up 10%. And then the selling came within that first minute. So the share price almost fell 20% during the day. So intraday trading. So obviously the market didn't like something there, or the market expected more of a profit upgrade. The market expected the profit upgrade to be better. But you can just see, I think the selling has stopped because the share price is actually up from its lows. So actually today, the share price got as low as $4.80. $2.95. So a nice bounce today. And I think that's probably maybe the end of the selling. So interesting company. Some would say this is overvalued, but the interesting thing, if you look at the valuation of the company, now it's less overvalued because of the profit upgrade and because of the price dropping. And maybe that's what has caused a little bit of support today, is just value investors, although I'd say value investors probably still think it's expensive. A company, another company that released a good announcement was Fleetwood Limited. C Ripple Rio Tinto accommodation agreement. Share price rallied 11.3% upon this announcement, increased another 5% today. But the interesting thing about this announcement was how the sentiment in this company just shifted from negative to positive. Actually, we have to look at the daily chart, not the 1 minute chart. This was just a sudden shift in sentiment. Share price got to a really important support level just above $1.10 in March. And since the share price has more than doubled. You just see there. Really, the breakout, even though I would have said this share price is still in a downtrend, was on the 24th of April when the share price rose 13.5%. But that really positive sentiment has continued. Some really good volume coming in. Just compare the volume as the share price is increasing as to the volume when the share price was moving down from July last year all the way through to March this year. Very little volume as the share price dropped, and then really good volume as the share price has come up. That is telling us that the reason share price is increasing is because more than likely some fund managers are getting interested in this company for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't really follow this company too closely. They have accommodation, that sort of thing. They used to have caravans. I wonder if they still do. Fleetwood engages in the manufacturing and selling of caravan spare parts and accessories. I'm pretty sure they also have accommodation stuff as well. The building solution segment designs, creates, and sells manufactured accommodation. Yeah. I mean, when you look at the weekly chart for this company, you'll notice this company really suffered back during 2012 and 13. I still remember following this company back in 2010, 11, because it was in a beautiful, nice uptrend from the lows in 2009. And then all of a sudden, just share price just tanked in 2013. There was 1 week of share price fell 42% after falling 12%, and the share price just kept on dropping. So possibly this is a turnaround, although all we have to do is just put a line there. And we could put the line about there. We'll put it there. And so between about $2.80 and $3.10 is a really strong resistance zone for this company. And it looks like the share price is trying to get up to that low zone. So if the share price gets to that zone, I probably would be taking profits. But if the share price gets above about $3.10, and if it does, that would mean the share price would be at a 10-year high. That could be an interesting time or place or price to take a position in this company. Another company I've just decided to include is Gore. So I'm pretty sure this company had some sort of update. Yeah, a production and guidance update, and share price down 8.3% that day, down a further 5.3%. And the share price of this company was looking good. And in Ausbiz, so many analysts are just talking about this company. They love Gold Road, but Gold Road maybe has moved, although a lot of volatility in the share price of this company. Now let's just draw a. So from these lows in July last year, you can see the share price. That's the uptrend. So the share price has just dropped below that uptrend. So interesting time for Gold Road Resources right now, particularly with this uptrend. This is a short-term uptrend. If we look at the weekly chart, share price, you could say definitely is still in an uptrend. And you can just see the turnaround. Look at that turnaround. Well, that was 2013-14. That was a long time ago. The share price of this company has been in an uptrend since 2013-14. Share price increasing from a low of, say, 4 cents or so all the way up to $1.51.5. Beautiful. Is that it for today? I think that might be it for the companies that have released interesting announcements during the week. I might have missed a few here and there. Now, I did have a very quick look at the top gainers for today. The top gainer for today, in fact, two, Invex Therapeutics and Dominion Minerals. And we'll have a look at Tempest Minerals as well. I'll have a closer look at these during the weekend, and we'll have a look at the top losers. Anything interesting? Oliver's Real Food did release a trading update. That's why the share price is down. I'm not going to have a look at that. And they've also mentioned, because they have sort of restaurants or whatever, fast food. Was it healthy fast food restaurants? Which for fast food, I want to get unhealthy food, not healthy food. But they, as mentioning, there is definite weakness in food right now, or something like that. I don't know. Nothing overly interesting here. But let's have a look at these few companies that saw the share price absolutely take off. Invex Therapeutics were granted European Orphan Drug Designation for TBI. I don't know anything about this company, but I like these sort of announcements. And obviously the market likes these sort of announcements as well. Unfortunately for Invex, share price has been dropping, but really good volume today, I would assume. Yeah, best volume for this company since May last year, but that was on a big down day. So best positive day for this company since 2020. Maybe this is the end of the downtrend for Invex. I'm going to put that onto my list to have a look a little bit closer. Been going for 30 minutes. Get rid of you. Dominion Minerals, nothing. GLM, no announcements today. I usually ignore these when there's no announcements. Just could be, who knows why. Illiquidly traded. And Tempest released an announcement, but non-sensitive announcements. So another company I'm not going to really pay too much attention to. I don't know why there was interest in this company. It was good volume as well. Maybe it's loose lips. Again, look at that massive run up there. And the share price tanked. Another nice run up, share price tanked. There are some indications that you always look for the third. You have this massive run up, second massive run up, then look for the third massive run up, and that might be the run up. Anyway, there is some theory behind that. Anyway, that's all I really have for today's video. I've just gone over 30 minutes. If you have any questions about any companies I featured in today's video, leave those in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I'm not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who's qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for the video. Have a good day. Bye.